We are here at the end of September and we're going into spooky season of October. So we decided to go back to the Legacy of Kain series, and we wanted to play it on the PlayStation 5. Thanks to PlayStation adding it to the premium tier, so we can all venture back into these titles. As for me, I have always been a fan of the Legacy of Kain series since a child. This was actually one of my first games I played. Blood Omen 2 was actually the first one I played. And then I ventured into the Soul Reaver series, and then and I never played Defiance, and we have that in this video, guys. One thing I have noticed over the years is vampires or werewolves have not gotten a lot of light over the years. It just seems to me that werewolves and vampires and ghosts and goblins have been an afterthought when it comes to the gaming. Yes, we had games like Bloodline and Masquerade and Werewolf Apocalypse, but Werewolf Apocalypse was still like a mediocre game when you really think about it. But I've made videos on that, and I actually did enjoy it, but it's not what I would like to see in 2025. Probably one of the best vampire games that I have played was Vampire, and that was good, but it wasn't action combat. It wasn't really action enough for me. Just in this day and age, I just want to see a more revision of these certain titles like Legacy of Kain. Perhaps maybe a remake or a remaster. I mean, we had the Soul Reaver remaster. That was good, but I want a full-blown remake, like Resident Evil remake type of style. I know plenty of the fans of vampires and werewolves and things like that would be paying yesterday for it. Now, I am sort of excited, and I like the previous trailers and certain gameplay aspects that they showed for Dawnwalker, and that looks like it can be a good vampire game, but it's also an action role-playing game. But we'll have to see how that turns out in 2026, and that was announced in January in 2025. So let's hopefully that comes out and we see what that turns out to be, because that does look great. It gives me that like Blade type feeling, you know. He's like a vampire but still can walk in the daylight. I like the different aspect on that. As of speaking of that, and we know that there is an upcoming Blade game made by Xbox Studios, and hopefully we see something more on that. That's another thing that I want to add into this video, is that where is that game? We haven't heard much on it, and I want to see some more on this stuff. I just want to see a little bit more shakeup when it comes down to the vampire genre and werewolf genre as well, because werewolves do not get enough light as well when I really think about it, and that is really lacking in games. You can't even count that many games that have vampires or werewolves in it when you really sit down and actually think about in the past, or even in this present day of gaming as a whole right now as we stand in 2025. But after going back to Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen, and Defiance, it just sparked up an idea and made me want to make this video on just the franchise, this franchise as a whole, and also just the vampire genre in general. That it shows of lack, and it shows that these type of games need to be brought back or get some love. Now, when it comes to storytelling, they actually had a knack. They had a knack for as playing, going back through these, and you know, being an older male now and not remembering half of this stuff, it definitely brought some really great memories, and it brought some good feelings about these titles. I'm happy that PlayStation is actually listening to people and actually bringing out these games back to the foreseen future of, people that haven't played it, or haven't, like me for instance, that played it but maybe have a short term memory on it. But this is around the time where storytelling had showed its peak, and storytelling was actually meaningful, and it had some type of essence of purity. But don't get me wrong now. I'm not going to say that these games had their flaws. They definitely had their flaws in storytelling, and it could show you, like, that's why, they do a lot of time travel tropes, because they forget about what they had in the previous game and they want to switch it over and change it and switch it up, and then they have the same characters in the previous game be in the next game that wasn't supposed to be in there, and they actually killed them off, but they wanted to bring them back. But overall, in the Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen 2, there had its flaws in the storytelling, but the gameplay was fun. I actually do enjoy that gameplay. I still remember that gameplay as playing it as a kid, and that was one of the first titles I played of the Legacy of Kain or the Soul Reaver series, and I have to say that I enjoyed it thoroughly every time I played it since a kid, and now as an adult. So I could say that these games definitely give you a lot of joy, and they make you want more. So I definitely want some more in this series. I want some more in the genre. Like we previously said in this video, I just want to see something come expire from this, and actually hopefully, let's just say hopefully, right? That maybe something comes out and we can see some revamps of all these type of franchises, like like how they did Metal Gear Solid recently, Metal Gear Solid Delta. I would like to see that with the Legacy of Kain series. I mean, we did get a remaster of Soul Reaver, like we said, but Soul Reaver, I think it could have been like remade from the ground up. I would like to see something like that. But it has to come to fruition. Hopefully things like this, like this video, actually gets to somebody's mind and actually watch this and say, hopefully we should try to make this. But that's wishful thinking. But you never know, right? You never know. But all I can say is that we had fun going back to these and platinum all of these titles, and hopefully we can see some more into this franchise, and hopefully, like we said, more vampire titles. Dawn Walker, I definitely want to see what that's going to be about. Blade. That's another game that should have got a remaster too, or remake. The Blade that was on the PlayStation 2. But I think that was from the movie as well. A lot of the movie creations that they made from after the movie came out, those didn't go too well when they make those, but some did. Like Wolverine or the Hulk Ultimate Destruction. That was pretty amazing. But as for this, man, this is just for our spooky season, and I just wanted to bring this to the light and let you guys know what was on my thoughts when it comes down to vampires and Vampire Legacy, and let Kain's legacy live on, right? You know what to do. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe like at the beginning of the video.